My team do or die. My gang do or die. My chick ride or die. And no bitches on the side. She pull and fuck me right. I don't think that I'll survive. Underground at 705. Andrew Mason in my line.
Do you remember a girl named Renee Gonzalez?
Yeah.
I actually was just telling her a story about her the other day. What's it called? So, when we were younger, like, I forgot. I think it was like we were about to go to Miss Adkins' class, and she hated us. So like, I was like, Renee. We were in the like this sandbox, and I was like, Renee, like punch me in the stomach, like so I threw up, like I want to go home. And so she like punched me in the stomach after lunch, and I threw up, and I went home.
And you went home?
Yeah, and I threw up all in the sandbox, and they like
easy way to get out of school. Right?
They put like yellow caution tape over.
Oh,
like,
that's golden.
Like 3 days, they had to deep clean the fucking area of sandbox.
That's hella fantastic.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Deo Cane. Hi, welcome to the Underground Podcast. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about back in the Walnut Elementary School days. We went to elementary school together.
We did.
We did. I don't remember a lot from like back in those days,
Yeah,
but
no chance.
this is like a just like out of my butt question. But like, did you listen to a lot of music back then? We're talking like really young, so.
Like yes, but at the same time, no. I had like, we were just talking about Disney. I had this like weird ghetto like it was like an off-brand iPod at the time. It was like made by Disney. It was an MP3 player, and so I had like 10 songs downloaded that, you know, my sister would listen to, and it was like a bunch of R&B. So when I was younger, I would listen to like a bunch of R&B music.
Yeah. Do you remember Apple Bottom Jeans?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the 10. It was one of the 10 for sure.
I think that was the only song I had on my iPod for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I remember there was a girl, I don't remember her name, man, but I was friends with her, and we would dance to that song in the like on the handball court. Good days, man. Good times.
That's so funny.
So what you been up to since issue 1?
Since issue 1, I dropped an album, I think while we were like making issue 1, I was working on like an album. It's called PTA. And then yeah, because we released it in January like 2019, right, is when the first magazine was released. So we released. It was 2020?
Yeah, January 2020.
Whoa, that's
Wow.
crazy. That was wow. Okay.
Hasn't even been that long.
So yeah, 2020 the magazine was released, and then in September last year is when I released my album. And then just like 2 weeks ago on the 14th I released an EP called Illy, and it's more like chill, like vibey records. Like I made it for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it for your girl?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So I listened to the first couple of songs, or a few of the songs off of PTA on my way here today. And the first song goes freaking hard, man.
Warfare.
Yeah.
Bing Visuals did the video for that.
Okay, I haven't seen the video. I'll
Yeah,
have
it's
to
on
check
the
out
Underground
video.
website. It's like raw. It's cool because we started off the day by going to this like hiking trail in my hometown in Newberry, and we filmed pretty much the whole video there, and just like some little random cut scenes and stuff. But then he was like, let's go to this other spot, and it was like this kind of like this tunnel, and we ended up, the whole video is just literally in this one corner of the tunnel. But it's just cool. It's just raw. And it fits the vibe of the song for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to check out the video, but you're using the word raw a lot, and I feel like that song in itself is very raw.
Yeah.
Like, the beat is, I was like, this is such a perfectly titled song, because the beat makes you immediately think and, like, be in that, like, mindset zone of, like, kind of, like, tension almost.
Yeah.
Like, building tension. And then lyrically, first of all, I had no idea you could spit bars like that. Second,
Thank you.
Secondly, I felt like there was something very inexplicably authentic about the way you deliver yourself. There's no pretending to be something you're not.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, I'm just another dude from the suburb, and I'm doing the thing that I love.
There's no time, like a lot of rappers pretend to be something that they're not. It's like fake it till you make it. And I get that to an extent. Like, you have to play into the image and the character. But then when you're at that level, like, there's like a bunch of rappers, I'm not even gonna say like what their names are and stuff, but like they'll get to that level, and then like like they'll be talking about guns and like all crazy shit, like I'll beat you up, whatever. And then like real people that are on that shit will be like, call them out and check them. And it's like, why would I do something like that when it's not who I am?
Yeah, I really value that, or I really appreciate that you're being very, very true to yourself in your music, because that's a market that also has to be reached. You know, there's plenty of people who live in suburbia that are just as into rap music as those that are in less privileged areas or areas where, you know, there is more violence. So I appreciate you for that. Thank you. In terms of like, you've been pretty heavily like involved in your own music career and like releasing pretty consistently, I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any advice to give to like upcoming 805 artists?
Don't get stuck. And I, not even necessarily like stuck like in your ways, but like specifically like as the music goes, like don't get stuck on one record. You know, like you may think that this is the record that'll blow you up, but chances are it's not. It's just another one that's helping you build towards, you know, that record, like what you're gonna do. You can't be like so stagnant, like thinking like, oh, this is the one, or like you can't be like kind of, I don't even know what the word is, but like you just have to be able to continue to like adapt and keep trying new things, because that's how you're really gonna find what your sound is, especially in the beginning. Like I feel like I've been making music realistically, like taking it seriously for like a year and a half, 2 years, like really just like doing this shit almost every day, like when I'll write every day and stuff like that for probably like a year and a half, 2 years. And I feel like I still am not there yet. Like I still don't know exactly, you know, what my sound is, what Deo Cane is, but I kind of like that at the same time, because it helps like me stay versatile, and like I'm willing to try like all different types of vibes, like all different types of beats or rhyme schemes, different stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you feel like within the past 2 years you've headed towards a general trend with your sound?
Yeah, I go more towards like the melodies.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's just fun.
It is,
especially when I was younger. I was in church choir, so like I know a little bit about like, I wouldn't say the theory, but like I can just like hear it in my head. I know it sounds good, so it's easier for me to do the melodies. But now I'm more like, I haven't released a lot of songs like Warfare, but I'm definitely veering more towards that because it's just fun. Like you hear it, I want to just make songs that like the whole time you can just consistently bop your head to. You're like, damn, this nigga's spitting. You know what I mean?
Bop.
Yeah, exactly. Just whole 2-3 minute song. You're just, you know,
you can't help but want to
exactly.
go with the rhythm.
It's infectious.
I love that. I don't know, man. Tell me what you've been up to.
What have I been up to?
What does like the average day in the life of Deo Cane look like
Average
today?
life okay. I wake up in the morning. I have been waking up like earlier more recently, but honestly, like for a while, just been waking up so late and just like, I don't know, I just like didn't give a fuck about anything. But you know, I've been changing my ways.
We have the liberty to do that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, you know, you're having a bad day, just blame it on COVID and it's fine. No, but so recently I've been waking up probably like 10 a.m., 9 a.m. sometimes. I will touch my rose quartz crystal, go
all that love energy.
Yes, catch some vibes, go on the gram, probably post something about just good energy. Just like check my notifications and stuff, text my girlfriend. And then I try to write every single day. So usually, like if I don't write like at nighttime, when I wake up, I'll try and like at least just like listen to beats. I try and listen to beats all throughout the day. Like I have a subscription to Spotify and Apple Music, but I honestly don't even listen to music that much. Like I'll listen to my own or like the homies and just beats all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody else said this recently. I think it was Louis on
Louis
Issue
the
3.
GOAT.
He's great. Yeah,
he's dope.
He was talking about how since he's been making music, he doesn't necessarily listen to music as much unless it's like a project released by somebody he knows or somebody local. Yeah. Do you feel like that's the case for you?
Yes, for sure. I definitely listen to like certain artists, like Michael Jackson. We talked about him earlier. All the politics are, you know, to the side, but musically, like I just look up to him. Yeah. He just has a sound that like is unlike anything else. And obviously I'm in a whole different genre, but like I look to him for inspiration. Like I listen to his music every time before I record.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love Michael Jackson too. Like you said, all politics aside, I really
Yeah.
enjoy Michael Jackson's sound. What other genres have really influenced you?
For sure R&B, because I just grew up on it. Also just like gospel music, because when I was younger, like I said earlier, I was in the church choir, so like just hearing that so much, I feel like it's able to give, when I do like sing for real on records, like it kind of gives my sound like kind of that soulful feel. Like I put out this song on SoundCloud called Soul, and it was like a long time ago, but well, realistically not, it was probably like 2 years ago, and I don't even think it's that good of a record, but like, because I engineered the song myself, and I knew nothing at the time. I just had my homie set up, and he's like, yeah, just make some records. So I recorded it, and like, even though it's not mixed that well, you can just like feel the soul in the actual song.
You have a great singing voice.
Thank you.
Do you feel like that came all from your experience with choir?
100%.
Okay.
And like, I never thought I had that good of a voice, because I feel like I live with my aunt and have like since I was 3. I was born in Texas and then moved out here when I was 3 to live with my aunt. But yeah, like she's like one of those people who has like a pretty good singing voice, but she always downplays it. So then I kind of picked that up from her.
Yeah, like humbling yourself.
Yeah,
putting
exactly.
yourself down
So like I was in the choir, and like I was even in the school choir, like
Dude,
in
I was
middle
in the school choir.
Yeah.
Well, not middle school. That was elementary school too. But
Well, honestly, I think I might have been in elementary school. But yeah, I would just always be like, yeah, like this is cool. But then when I started making music, so I stopped making music in like ending of like 7th grade or something like that, because I was like, singing's for girls.
wait,
like,
you were making music like before, like in middle school and stuff like that too?
I did not mean to say that. I meant to say like being in the choir.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, singing's for girls. Like,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I don't like this, blah, blah, blah. So I stopped. And then I stopped singing in the church choir sometime in high school, because like, the way Black families are, like you go to church, and if they're doing something, you're doing it. So I had to like be in the choir. And then finally in high school, I was like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
But now that I actually do make music, I wish I had like continued it, because I feel like my voice would be even better. But oh well.
Would you ever consider integrating like gospel sounds into your work?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like I actually the other day I reached out to some people that I used to be in the choir with.
Nice.
And I don't know exactly what record it would be, but I want to like get a song where I have like that choir sound. Like if I could get like maybe like 3 to 5 of
Just
them
a whole bunch
just
of
in,
harmonies
yeah, exactly, and just a bunch of layers, just like some shit that you would really feel. That's kind of like you can tell when people just take time on their music, because it's reflected in what you're hearing.
Yeah.
And I for sure, like for my next project that I put out, I want it to be something along the lines of that. Like even if it takes me like a year and a half to put out, like I want it to be a really like complete project.
I think that's something that's commonly overlooked, especially in modern music industry, is how quickly can we put out a product that's going to sell, as opposed to how quickly can we put out content that's truthful and soulful.
Yeah, exactly. Because even the stuff I have put out, like I feel like it's pretty well put together, but like realistically, like I only work on some of these projects. Like my PTA album's 13 songs, and I made that in like 2-3 months, but not even working on it every day. And then the last, like Illy came out, and all those songs were made within the last like month or 2 as well. So it's like it's easy to put it out, but like I don't know, to make like a full complete project where like, because I like to be really involved. I don't like just buying YouTube beats, even though I listen to a bunch of YouTube beats to like kind of get inspiration. I don't like just like buying a beat and then recording on it. I like to be a part of the actual process of like making the beat. Like I like to specifically GM. I make a lot of records with him, GM Beats, and I like will go to his house and like actually make it with him.
That's
nice.
And
I was actually just talking about this with him yesterday. It just like it makes you record differently, because like you're more a part of the process, so then it just makes you think differently about it.
Yeah. It reminds me of, I was watching an interview with Alumnae, and he was talking about how he will never just hand over his content to like a producer and just be like, okay, go ahead. He will have to be there with them and like make sure that it's something that he can actually hop on with his lyrical genius that he is. So I totally get that. I think it's important to be integrated and a part of every part of your what it is that you're putting out there to represent yourself,
especially at this stage, because like if I'm already like on it this early, once I'm at that level that he's at, it'll just be so much easier. Like I can tell them exactly what I want, exactly what I'm going for, like use this sound, put that there. And producers and engineers, like obviously, you know, they're creative, so they like to have creative control, but like if you have someone in there with you that knows exactly what they want, it just makes their job so much easier.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's super cool. Okay, I want to shift gears here a little bit and talk about how you're going to be getting more involved with Underground moving forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know I don't know too much, but so do you want to enlighten me?
I honestly, like, I don't know exactly what my role is going to be, but I think it's more along the lines of like kind of like being an A&R for them. So I mean, you know what an A&R is, but like
if you don't know what A&R is, it's kind of like musical outreach, going out into the community or into musical groups and finding creatives and artists and bringing them into the spotlight so that people can see what their talent is about. Okay, cool.
I'm glad you explained that, because I would have just been like, yeah, you just find people.
You just find people. No, yeah, it's about, I feel like A&R is a very special position to hold, because you get to, I don't like to say that anyone's the judge of like how good somebody is, but you get to kind of just be like, okay, yeah, like this is somebody that is worth fucking with, you know, like let me like see what you're about, like, and you, it's also a really awesome way to be introduced to shit tons of more artists. So what do you think you're going to be bringing to the table with that?
I think I'm going to be able to like find a lot of artists that like maybe not necessarily just have it all together or are the best artists, quote unquote, but like I feel like I'm very good at seeing potential, and I feel like I'll be able to help them like find a lot of artists that like they can help like mold and kind of, you know, bring them to the next point, because that's, you know, that's kind of what Underground's about. Like they don't have like a certain standard as to who they choose, you know, it's just people that are like-minded, people that are likable, like, you know, that they see the potential in.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Underground is how wide of a variety this roster is. Almost you have everywhere from people who have 15 followers on Spotify to like 15K followers on Spotify, and I think that's really cool.
That's what's so great about it, because it's like that's not what it's about. It's about the music.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, every time it comes back to it. If you really enjoy something, then you're gonna do it regardless. And so it's cool that they provide a platform for literally anyone, someone that's just starting out, or you know, someone that's been in the game that just wants another like kind of outlet or like another area of people that are looking at them. Yeah,
it's awesome. Do you think there's something that you can provide for all these artists that are coming through Underground, because you're, you know, the original 7?
I can just provide them insight and like show them that like, you know, maybe on paper you don't think that Underground is doing so much for you, but it really is. Like it's one thing alone is like all the people I've networked with. Like I only knew like probably half of the people, like Jakari in the beanie, college dreads, and then Kyle with the purple. I didn't know any of them. I didn't even know Mikey G right there that much either, but like it just brought us all together, and now we're super close. Like I talk to most of them like at least 2 to 3 times a week. Like super, just like it's like a family for real. Like I know everyone's like, oh my god, they're like a family, but for real, like I consider them really close with me, and like they're people I'm just gonna have around forever. And even with the new issue, I haven't even met most of these people in person other than B-Work in the yellow. And like I talk to some of these guys pretty often as well, and it's super cool. Like you're just able to network with all these different artists that, you know, just that alone makes you want to be a part of it. Let alone, you know, like they have Chandler doing a bunch of video stuff for them, like helping with videos. You know, they're working with Bobby like on his project, just all these little things that they can provide to just help you get to the next level.
Right. This is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's really unique about underground is that it's kind of a way to cultivate a very creative environment that has very little restrictions. Does that make sense? Like, there's so much networking,
Mm-hmm.
so many variety of like types of artists, the type of artists. So we have music, we have video production, and we're doing podcasts now and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like all of that together, this is a way to really make waves in our community.
For real.
You know, we like to call it the underground family because it is really one big family. I like to think of it. I mean, I haven't been a part of this for too long, but
Yeah.
in the few months that I have been, I really do feel like I'm part of one big family.
And this is how this shit happens. Like, take like any other record company, you know, at some point they were doing the same shit.
Yeah, the small stuff, yeah.
And it's like Underground, Popsky and Andrew are taking the right steps towards, you know, going that far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, you know, you're not gonna just be fucking popping after one day. Like, this is, I always tell Andrew, actually, this is just part of our origin story.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to like really just sit back and just realize that like you're in the hardest part but the most fun part at the same time, because when you're at that level you're gonna look back and be like, damn, I wish I didn't take this for granted, damn, I wish that, you know, whatever the case is for each individual.
This is the part that humbles you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you're at that level, you're not a fucking dick.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be a dick. None of us want to be a dick. Shoot.
Yeah.
So now that you're going to be more involved with Underground moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to say to, you know, Issue 3 artists and, you know, our next up-and-coming artists? What do they need to know about Underground? Because you've been with this process for a while now.
I think, I don't know. The only thing I could really think of is just like, what you give in is what you will get back.
Mm-hmm.
So if, you know, if you're on your shit, if you're showing them or showing us that like, you know, you want to be a part of this, you want to just better yourself, we're going to give you that same energy back. We're going to help you with whatever you need to the best of our ability.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably that's the biggest thing I could tell anyone. That's, you know,
If you bring the energy, you'll receive the energy,
Yeah.
right? Cool. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out, chatting with us.
of course.
Yeah, and we're really excited to have you do some A&Rs for us. I personally, A&R is my like personal favorite area of the music industry, because that's where you can kind of step away from the bullshit of the monetary stuff and just look at pure talent.
Exactly.
So,
and I'm so just like in the actual creating process, it's going to be cool to like just sit back and like help someone else do that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm like actually really excited, in case you
Yeah.
can't tell. I'm like smiling really hard. So this was a great chat. We look forward to everything moving forward. Cool.
Yeah, might as well.
Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out.
My team do or die. My game